The Man Cave, Shed, Garage, Sports Room, Home Office, Robot Building Supplies has everything you need to renovate or build it. Metal roofing, cladding to structural steel, timber and insulation. With 24-hour delivery, get it done fast with Robot Building Supplies. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
Hey, let's talk Hawthorn because they had the intra-club last night. They've rolled the sleeves up at the Hawks right throughout the summer, haven't they? Sam Mitchell's wave of next-generation talent fight to prove themselves and sometimes, as it turns out, fight each other. Adrian Hickmott's played 184 AFL games. Of course, started at the Cats, went to the Blues, and these days he's an assistant coach down at Waverley Park. G'day, Adrian. Thanks a lot for your time.
G'day, Sam. No worries.
Great to talk to you, mate. Take us through last night. She got a bit willing out there again, mate. What's going on?
Yeah, it did, Sam. Look, last night overall went really well. We were really pleased with the coaching group and a footy department that the players went out and they were out to play and they've been looking forward to a bit of match play, 4 quarters, 25 minutes. There's some members and supporters around, so the feel was good and we're after a competitive edge, competitive nature amongst our group, and we're keen to instill that in our younger players. So, we don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
Play within the rules and get after the footy.
I was going to ask you how you viewed that. I mean, as a player, I know that was well and truly in your kit bag, but whether it happened organically or whether it's something that you've got a conscious edge of instilling in your group.
Yeah, well, both. We've got our senior players out there too, experienced players, Sis and Frosty and a few others that hang around, like Mitch Lewis is injured at the moment, but he was put himself amongst the coaching group, which was good to see. But amongst the younger guys, they've got a competitive edge about them anyway, which is exciting. Josh Ward and Ned Long, young Connor McDonald, and then you're chucking a younger Cam McKenzie and a young Josh Weddle who are got this edge about them themselves, and it's competitive out there, and there's some spots up for grabs, so it's exciting, and the willingness and to shake hands afterwards is good.
Now, do we even need to calm the farm on Sicily's ankle tweak? I know he's removed from the game, but I know the club last night might have said that was precautionary. James, be okay?
Yeah, he'll be fine. That was really, really minor. We had some players who had to manage too. We're really aware of a long season, so to manage players, take them out on minutes, and make sure they get through the next few weeks. Really, be Geelong down there, and then over at Collingwood at Tassie.
Where are you at captaincy wise? Just while we speak, James Sicily, who's obviously right at the pointy end of that conversation. We would have thought as outsiders. Where do you think you're at with that, Adrian, in terms of the process?
Yeah, the process it's still a work in progress. We're working our way through that slowly but surely. So that'll work itself out with Sam and the club itself. So we're just biding time and seeing how it unfolds.
Let's talk about last night. I mean, Dillamore's resurrection, if I can call it that, has been absolutely extraordinary. Obviously, recently signed the 3-year contract, and he was a real spark last night. Yeah,
I thought he started really well, especially in the first half. He's running, he's running really impressed us, just getting over the ground. And on those grounds, you can hear communication from players because, there's not a massive crowd there and it's open. So in his communication as well as his, skills and toughness inside. So the way he trains throughout the weekend, I'm talking about in the gym, just with his touch, just all the little things. There's no surprise that he's started like that.
And tell us about the forward line. So obviously Mitch Lewis, you mentioned there, he's going to miss, he seems to differ with Sam Mitchell's assessment. He's going to miss some of the season anyway. Obviously Jack Gunston's left. And then you've got Fergus Green via free agency. But did he surprise you a bit last night? How did he go?
Yeah, he was at Box Hill last year, and we'd go to pretty well most games that we could if they didn't clash. And his willingness and the ability to read the play in that forward line was really impressive. So he's had a good pre-season. He was able to do that throughout the pre-season. Young Emerson Jekka, he was out last night, but he'll be back against Geelong. He's moved forward and showed a bit there as well. And you got young Jai Sarong, who hurt his ankle just last week at training, but he has been training really well down there. Kaczynski had, I think, 4 or 5 shots at goal last night, so his presence was good. And then you've got Bruce, who's just that like a captain down there in himself. Just the way he does things and organises his forward line is pretty impressive.
I think someone told me Cozzy kicked 1 goal 6. I'm not sure if that's right, but clearly the radar might need a bit of work. But I mean, as you say, he's getting the shots on goal. Yeah,
that's the impressive bit. Yeah, I think he kicked 1 5 or 6, something like that. But having the ball in his hand and having shots on goal is what we want. And then those guys go out and train, and he'll work on that. There's no doubt. I think he mentioned that I got the ball in my hand, which is a good thing, and we agreed with that. So now he's just got to straighten himself up, get that routine, and feel confident about himself having shots.
Speaking of Hawthorn assistant Adrian Hickmott, Adrian, I guess you want competition for spots, don't you, right across the board? You've certainly got that in the ruck. Now, Lloyd Meek's come across from Fremantle, of course, real presence where you'd expect him to be, but I think from what I read or what I'd heard, he'd actually played a pretty impressive role up forward as well, which would have been good.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so ruckman, along with Ned Reeves and Max Lynch and young Max Ramsden, is progressing all the time. Lloyd went forward and he's a big man. He can jump at the ball. He's aggressive in the air. So he was impressive forward. And in the ruck, he holds his own. Ned's tall. He's got height. Just coming back from his shoulder, but he's progressing really well too. So yeah, the ruck is a competition along with the midfield. We've got a stack of midfielders in there as well that want to get under their hands. So it's exciting. It really is. Just watching it. We're coding it. I'm coding it this morning. It's exciting to look at, and then hopefully we can just keep continuing the way we do. I
reckon you'll have a few Cam McKenzie edits in there, won't you? He showed a bit last night, and I think a lot of Hawthorn supporters looking forward to watching him, and by the looks of it, watching him early.
Yeah, through his pre-season, along with young Josh Weddle and Henry Huswaite did a couple of things last night as well. So Cam's just got that. He's got the knack inside to get inside to out. So he does look exciting.
And Henry Huswaite, just a small comparison to Scott Pendlebury, I think, last night.
Small one. He can read the ball really well. He played in a couple of positions, but knows how to get the ball and knows probably a couple of steps ahead of the ball. So he's got a good sizer. He's tall, quiet young man, but just goes about his business really well. So he looked good along with our other young fellas.
There's so many, aren't there? I mean, Will Day, I think he played full midfield as well. You had Carl Amon, who had plenty of it up and back on a wing as well. And did Chad Wingard, he sat it out, didn't he? Is that normal sort of load management for him, or?
Yeah, load management for Chad. He'll be back next week against Geelong. So he settled out and did a bit of coaching from the bench. And Carl on the wing, and Josh Ward and Connor McDonald up half forward. So the younger players, the ones that have been there a year, and the new draftees, are able to go against Jai Newcomb and Warple and Nash. So there's a bit of competitive instinct amongst those group too, which I reckon when you have that and continue to have that and keep nurturing it, we're just hoping it keeps moving forward slowly.
Yeah, and John Newcomb has set the bar last year for himself, didn't he? It looks like he's picked up right where he left off. You chose to keep the powder dry in regards to the SSP, Adrian. So Callum Brown had been down there, didn't see a heck of a lot of it last night. He's going back, I think, to play for Box Hill in the VFL, but you chose to keep the spot open, I think?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have. Yeah, so Callum Brown Chambers, and he'll go back to Box Hill, and then we'll just work through it for the half year and see how it looks halfway through the year from then on. So, yeah.
Well, plenty happening. There's so many players to talk about down at your club, and it really does feel like a fresh and exciting start for the Hawks, Adrian. So really appreciate you steering us through last night's match practice, mate, and best of luck for the rest of the preparation, obviously, the season to come.
Good on you. Beautiful, Sam. Thanks very much for the time.
There's Adrian Hickmott there. Good on you, Bluey, joining us from the Hawks. News out of Richmond as well in regards to captaincy announcements. No change. No surprise there. Dylan Grimes, Toby Nankervis will resume as co-captains for a second season. They got the endorsement from the playing group and the football department this week. So triple premiership players, the both of them, formally appointed last year as the club's first ever co-captains, of course, in VFL, AFL history, with the recent process endorsing their impact as a leadership combination on and off the field. And Essendon have got some match sim going on at the moment. And David King, hasn't he been getting around over the summer months? He's out there, and just reading Kingy's tweet, he says, Bombers first half, Parrish, Ridley, Shields, Heppel all playing well. Jones has done some brilliant things forward. Draper versus Bryan, a good contest in the ruck. Something about Bryan that could be very special, Kingy says. He's down there watching that one at the moment as Essendon go about it.
40 crispy chicken McNuggets are for friends. Together with tangy Cajun sauce, close friends only. Pick up juicy chicken and tangy Cajun at Macca's drive-thru today. Select items available for a limited time.